Hey folks, welcome back to our channel Casual Fandom. Here I am Lazar, joined by usual panel Aditya, Advait and Avik. And today we are going to discuss about Loki episode 6 finale and hidden details in that and fan theories and lots of other stuff. So let's get on with it. So Avik, कैसा लगा? How did you feel about the episode finale?
क्या ही बोले like what to say मतलब satisfactory it was very मतलब इतना जो hype create किया था ये जो journey the ride which we went on it was not disappointing like अच्छे से they concluded it very well even though they left us with more questions than we had the answers से ज़्यादा we still have questions but compared to the previous two shows like Falcon WandaVision compared to that it was a lot better like the whole show was actually better like एकदम अच्छे से execution था the acting was nice the conclusion was nice everything the mysteries everything was nice
And
let's
the
see
ending
what
also.
exactly the ending posed a lot of questions so we'll talk about that further. Aditya, what do you think?
I enjoyed it, dude. So yeah, it does pose a lot of questions as Advait and you had pointed out in the group, but I was happy with it. Basically, the acting and the way it was presented, I enjoyed it and I have no complaints. And I will divulge into it once we go ahead. But मेरे लिए मस्त था. I was happy. Lazar, तू बता.
Oh, I just enjoyed the show, man. Like episode when I reached episode 3, I was like, okay, like this is like a bit dull. Like there was a lot more to bitch about. But like after that, it was over. Like episode 4, 5, like the stocks were rising like since episode 4, and episode 5 was like the whole about the hype and everything. And episode 6, the ending. I mean, it got me off guard. I didn't expect that ending to be like that. मतलब, I didn't expect Kang to literally come in the show. I took a break. Okay, मतलब Kang का reveal लिया, मैं सब pause किया, like, okay, I cannot comprehend. मैं attention नहीं दे पा रहा शो पे. मैं pause लिया, मैं जाके चाय पी के आया, उसके बाद देखा. मतलब इतना मतलब I was like इतना सारा fan theories एक एक करके true होते जा रहा है. I mean, how can it possibly be? I was like WandaVision flashback सब ऐसा आ रहा था एक साथ. So I was not able to focus. Yeah. So it was a big gangster move by Marvel, like to bring in Kang in this series itself. Like even after Kevin said nothing big is gonna happen in this, and like there ho, आ गया Kang आ गया. So like it was pretty unexpected, and for that it was pretty much like the ending and the acting also. Throughout the whole series, Tom Hiddleston acting was bravo, and the ending really was not disappointment. It was really a best show of Marvel till now.
Then going ahead to Advait.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this episode. I didn't like expect much as a episode like I had talked about in the last podcast maybe. I'm not expecting much. So I went to उसी mindset के साथ. I was surprised. मेरे को लग रहा था जैसे कैंग वैंग का कुछ तो दिखाएंगे वो like the person who is like behind or something like that. तो वो हुआ. मैं सब बहुत बड़ा सा शॉक में नहीं था but I was like I wasn't expecting to see him like so soon like ऐसा एकदम ऐसा. So like वो दरवाजा खुलता है and like he's just standing there ऐसा. So it was nice. Like I didn't like one thing like the pacing felt really weird and off, you know. अभी episode 5 तक लोकी में कैसा build up होता है, then last like they slowed it down, but उसके साथ साथ they also like bombarded us with so many ऐसा
things. They just opened a can of worms.
And then it just ends like it felt like the series just ended abruptly. So I think there's a reason for that, which we can talk about later. Like मतलब वो लोग ऐसा लगा था बीच में बंद किया. So I didn't like that. I not a very big fan of cliffhangers.
Okay.
तो वो चीज़ अच्छा लगा.
मैं तेरे को क्वेश्चन पूछना था. Like half a dozen of American shows live on cliffhanger. Literally, Big Bang Theory, Game of Thrones, तो कुछ भी ले ले. Half a dozen of them they survive on cliffhangers because they want to create that anticipation and build up. So, what is that? What do you feel about cliffhangers, and why do you feel about that? The way you feel?
See, I don't think this was like a very well planned cliffhanger. It felt like really ऐसा जल्दी में like
So you
I don't know,
you felt कि 6 episode को either break down करके और 2 episode बनाते तो it would have been a better pacing kind of stuff, or
maybe yeah,
what?
like if the cliffhanger had come after like a breather or something, like another episode or some, I don't know, like it feels very abrupt. That's all.
Then this fact says कि मतलब वो high पे लेके जाके ही छोड़ दिया, like थोड़ा ऐसे cliffhanger makes the most impact when you know like there's a high, then there's a low, and वहाँ पे जाके at the end of the low suddenly ऐसा the show ends in a very
Okay.
cliffhanger moment. And
For example, if they had just revealed Kang the Conqueror, just reveal किया होता and then end किया होता, then it would make more sense like as a cliffhanger, like what. But then they have
Okay.
explained a lot of things. But then suddenly they also put out a lot of questions, and then cliffhanger आता है. But
Okay.
it felt like they have cheated me. Like a good cliffhanger कैसा रहता है? अपने को से थोड़ा अपन सोचे ओ मैन नाइस, ऐसा अपन बहुत सोचता है.
हाँ, बराबर.
क्या होने वाला है सब करके, वो भी था लोकी में, ऐसा भी है.
Correct.
But I also feel cheated at the same time.
Like people who felt cheated when they didn't get Mephisto.
हाँ ना.
All the Mephisto fans out there.
बाकी का पहले के जो 2 शो है ना, उसमें ऐसा छोटा ये करके क्लिफहैंगर करते थे तो भी चलता था. लाइक WandaVision में भी है ना, लाइक वांडा इज सीन
वो astral projection.
हाँ एस्ट्रल प्रोजेक्शन कर रही होती. So that is a good cliffhanger. I mean, it's a new plot line. It's not the.
But it's a minor one. It's not a major one where it poses an entire, it has a base of entire 10 years of MCU. It's just like अच्छा कोई और इसमें connect कर देंगे, correct?
हाँ, तो पता नहीं बहुत अजीब लगा मेरे को कि इतना उन लोगों ने मोमेंटम बिल्ड किया और फिर मेरे को लग रहा था एक एपिसोड 7 होता तो भी अच्छा लगता था, एक 7 या 8 कुछ जो भी, और I don't know, like done something different.
Okay.
I feel cheated. That's all.
Nice.
Maybe it's
So
just
what
me like cribbing about ऐसा, yeah, I'm just being a baby or something.
No. Everyone has an experience. But then, yeah, तो अपने दुख के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. जैसे अविक ने बोला, he has a lot of questions. Similarly, I have just good points about the show because I don't have the brains enough to even comprehend. Because there was one question which Avik had asked, and we were like, okay, क्या हो सकता है? And I was actually waiting for some other YouTubers to come out of the video because my brain was like, अच्छा क्या हो सकता है? ठीक है. So let's divulge into this. Avik, you start with the questions which you have, and we'll discuss with the theories and try to unravel as much as we can with our brains.
Okay, so like पहला the first most basic question is like how does this multiverse and timeline work? मतलब
क्या?
ये तो मेरा क्वेश्चन था.
This was the question from episode 1. Like we are not pretty much clear about how everything works out, like the multiverse.
Like multiverse में there are parallel universes और उसमें फिर the timelines exist या timeline के अंदर universe, like वो structure कैसा है, वो कैसा उसका hierarchy है?
क्योंकि if there are अपना जो अभी मल्टीवर्स में कैसा पैरेलल यूनिवर्सेस रहेगा, ठीक है. पैरेलल यूनिवर्सेस don't have anything to do with timelines, right? They don't have any common origin because
For
they're parallel.
laymen like me and laymen like other audience who listen to you, explain the actual theory of parallel universe and multiverse so that we can have a base and compare.
First explain the quantum theory, जो quantum mechanics में जो theory.
You just explain the entire thing first.
And फिर उसके बाद जो अभी शो का जो interpretation इन लोगों ने दिखाया, then
वो
अलग है. हाँ, पता नहीं like वो लोग कैसे बोल रहे, because normally अपना कैसे
रहता है? Actual वाला बोलना. हाँ,
alternate realities कैसा है? Alternate realities में अपन अभी जैसे तू coin toss किया and उसमें
Schrodinger's cat जैसा.
हाँ, Schrodinger's cat जैसा, तो उसमें तेरे को नहीं पता हो सकता हेड जाएगा टेल जाएगा, लेट्स से. तो it basically is in a superposition of two states. It's gonna be both heads and tails वैसा.
Okay.
So basically you will have like multiple realities. In one there is heads, in one there is tails. Like both are happening. You are only experiencing a sliver of that reality.
Got it.
That's what the alternate realities का होता है. So that means there is हर चीज का कोई common origin रहेगा, बराबर? कोई ना कोई point in time रहेगा. And then those things can diverge more and more as they go on. So you will get very weird realities.
All these realities exist in one single universe, which we
एक में. हाँ, अभी पैरेलल यूनिवर्सेस क्या रहता है? पैरेलल मतलब पैरेलल है, they don't have any common ऐसा टाइम में origin. Like they don't have some common branching of points जहाँ से वो लोग आए हैं. Parallel universes are parallel in that regard.
Then they are stacked on one upon another. ऐसा कुछ है कि it just randomly.
It's like there is another entire universe which will have different physics, let's say, or maybe it has the same physics, but let's say अलग चीजें होंगी, अलग ये है. It has nothing to do with our universe. Okay.
So it won't have another Aditya or Advait. It might have different species.
It's not like past में कोई एक event की वजह से ये दो universes split हुए. It's like entirely different. Okay.
हाँ, ये तो basic फंडा हो गया. So like अभी how does timeline factor in this? मतलब ये जो branch of reality timeline वो कैसे quantum mechanics, how does that मतलब quantum mechanics में कैसे explained है वो?
Alternate realities quantum mechanics का quantum mechanics का वही है, superposition का principle and indeterminism. कैसे रहता है वो?
So if another timeline had to branch, that would be like alternate reality ही होगा ना वो like.
हाँ, branching out जब भी होता है you have an alternate reality. It's alternate का मतलब क्या? मतलब a different reality. मतलब
so that's the equivalent of another timeline. मतलब जो
yes. So all the branches that happen on the sacred timeline and everything, वो सब alternate realities है सारे.
But they are in the same universe. एक ही universe में है वो.
Yes, they are all in the same universe ना, because क्या बोलते हैं sacred timeline कैसा रहता है? एक single उन्होंने दिखाया हमेशा. Like screen पे एक ही timeline है. That means it should be like एक ही universe का. I mean, अगर parallel universes रहते, there would have been multiple such sacred timelines, right? For each universe, each parallel universe, you know. अब प्रॉब्लम ये आता है कि उसने द वन हु रिमेन्स, ही हु रिमेन्स, उसने बोला था कि उसने टीवीए क्रिएट किया क्योंकि क्या हो रहा था, ये जो जितने ऑल्टरनेट रियलिटीज है ना एक टाइमलाइन के अंदर, वो सारे के सारे क्या बोलते हैं,
कंट्रोल के लिए लड़ रहे थे. नहीं, he was saying universal.
Multiverse
another universe was
more than one universe. So
yes, so multiverse और मतलब multiple universes का war. Okay, multiple parallel universes का war.
Yes, so in one universe there can only be
timeline का thing.
But in one universe there can only be one Kang or one Iron Man.
हाँ, exactly. And but no. In one universe, in the alternate realities of that single universe, there can be multiple Kangs. But इसने बोला था multiverse war है, मतलब parallel universe के बीच में war. Yes. तो उसमें Kangs सब एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं. मेरे को ये नहीं समझा, अगर वो TVA यूज करके ये चीजों को सॉल्व कर रहा था,
TVA कर सकता है.
Yeah, TVA deals only with timelines. And the multiverse war has technically nothing to do.
I guess the same question. Same. This question connects with the end of the show where he sees Kang, in which Avik and I, had the same thing. Where is Loki right now, and which TVA is, because Mobius does not know him. He sees a Kang's idol, which it's a timeline where Kang is openly telling कि मैं timeline control करता हूँ. So whether that TVA is in the same universe or whether it's in some different.
That was my same question. Like, has the TVA been reset, or what is a different TVA? Like, are there multiple TVA or just this particular TVA?
Because they have always shown TVA to be outside of time.
Outside of time. They're like in comics also, they are like a separate void. Like, they are not related to the timeline or anything. They are in a separate void, like space. So from that space, they are monitoring the timeline and everything. So,
it's like Dormammu's dimension, like where time doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Things don't change. So it's something like that. But also, then how does it reset, and how is alternate realities happening in TVA?
Here's what the thing which I noticed while rewatching it. Like, Sylvie kicked him out of the time portal after the timelines branched. Like, after the timelines branched, they started to fight. Like he said, we reached the threshold and everything. Like, that moment itself, the timeline has started branching. So after that fight thing, she kicked him out of the portal to TVA. So I think the last time we saw Mobius and Hunter B15 was when Mobius confronted Renslayer. That was the last time we saw the Mobius, because I looked at his appearance, his tie, his shirt and everything, and compared to the scene where Hunter B15 and Mobius are standing in front of the monitor, and like this is like there's no turning back.
Branching is happening.
Yeah. So that moment, the Mobius and Hunter B15 which we are seeing are not the original one, because first of all, those people who were watching the monitor won't like just sit there. अरे देख ये अपना उधर से भागा वाला आदमी नहीं. No, so they will take.
It already has become a different TVA.
Yeah, this already has become a different TVA. Like, it's been reset.
वही आदित्य और मैं भी ये डिस्कस किए थे. The Hunter B15 and Mobius, the ones who are watching, they are the original ones. क्योंकि turning back का बात है ना, so Mobius knows what has happened and Hunter B15
exactly
knows what has happened. the ones we see in the library, they are the
They are
ones.
different.
They are
The
different.
different ones.
But they were running away from TVA, okay, and they are standing in midst of the TVA
Huh.
control center.
TV, no, so see, even they are, see, for example, that Thunder B15 and Mobius who were in front of screen, right? Seeing a branching reality. They are the actual one because they actually wanted that to happen. They know that
I
the
don't
time
think
wants
so,
to be set free.
because B15 is not back yet. That whole scene, like cutting that scene right off there, I think the main reason behind that, because it's in the suspense stage. Like we are not shown what happens to that.
So we don't need to be shown now when she
हाँ, it
confronts.
doesn't need to understand कैसे. अभी ये थोड़ा ना कि B15 चलते हुए जाते हुए TV में hey guys I'm back बोलेगी.
Like there's a reason to, like
Understand.
so B15 का जब she was on the run, like दोनों का appearance देख, like especially Mobius का, his whole appearance is mangled when he's confronting Renslayer, and suddenly like a switch, like the next scene where he's like monitoring the monitors, like the central control area, his whole appearance is like fresh, like out of the room, like dress up पहन
मुंह
के
तो अभी
एकदम
थोड़ा
आए.
वो मुंह धो के नहीं बैठेगा, ऐसे ही थोड़ा ना बैठा रहेगा. देख
नहीं,
मुझे ये नहीं लगता
like
कि
the
it is different.
एक रीजन ये है कि like अभी ऐसा बोल सकते हैं like ब्रांचिंग आउट स्टार्ट हुआ ना, उसके बाद टीवी स्टार्टेड ब्रांचिंग आउट. तो उसके बाद भी लोकी gets kicked into any of those realities. Mobius and Hunter should still recognize him because तभी से ब्रांच आउट होना स्टार्ट हुआ. बट ब्रांचिंग आउट ऑल ओवर द टाइमलाइन होता है ना.
This
तो
this
पास्ट में भी
TV,
कहीं पे ब्रांच आउट कोई भी जगह पे वो गया रहेगा.
I mean, to ये देखना, the Mobius was a Loki specialist, and this guy didn't even know who he was. Like even the appearance.
This question I also had कि like जो even if it's another timeline, उस timeline में भी लोकी को उसको recognize करना चाहिए
Yes.
कि at least this is a Loki, not मतलब he may not know personally, but हाँ ये लोकी है, उसको इतना तो होना चाहिए था कि
Yes.
you are a Loki, what are you doing here, ऐसा कुछ.
Maybe he has gone to a reality where there are no Lokis.
और maybe you know Lazar का first episode का theory where he said there are multiple movies.
Yes.
Maybe there will be a fact that he is in a different department which is nightmare or a department which Mobius talks. I want to go in that.
Nah, because the statues
we have
would be
entered
same.
that
No.
department.
Statues are different.
हाँ, statues would be same. Yeah, so it might be he might have met Mobius of a different variant in a different TV. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. Multiple
Clearly-
permutation combination हो सकते हैं.
Clearly, we don't know what the fuck is going on, because as far as I know, I think like when the branching started, the moment the branch started, the gang-
एक उसमें अभी एक क्वेश्चन ये भी है कि how did the branching started, because Ego remains was still alive, उसको तो मारा नहीं, so before
yeah.
he
नहीं,
got
उसने उतना तक का ही देखा था एंड उतने
Yes.
तक का ही वो
Threshold.
मैनेज कर रहा था टीवीए को बता के. इस
Yes.
पॉइंट के बाद का कुछ नहीं पता था बिकॉज वो वॉइड के आगे चले गए ना ये लोग.
yes. I mean, like still the things are not much
what
made
was the
clear.
threshold event, मतलब when the threshold they crossed the
Yes,
threshold,
yes.
what was the event?
What was
That
the
might-
event? Yes. I also same
It
question.
should have been the death of He Who Remains, but before he died the reality started branching out, and so what caused it, like it was not कि जब
I don't think he caused anything because उसने बोला था कि he is now leaving everything up to Loki and this Sylvie, मतलब उन दोनों पे लीव कर रहा है. So इसीलिए उसने तब तक का ही सिर्फ प्लान किया until he could tell them everything, and then the decision is up to them, like what happens to the universe is up to them. So that's why he didn't plan उसके आगे.
it's on him, मतलब it's because of him, like he didn't do anything after that, so that's why the threshold point came and वो वहाँ से reality branch हुआ.
Yes, exactly. It
Yeah,
felt like this
No.
Odin
I
का
don't think so.
Odin का magic ना. Odin, the moment Odin died, the Hela came out of nowhere. Like Odin was
हाँ, but
not,
ये वैसा नहीं था. ये वैसा नहीं था. The fact is, if you see, when he is speaking with, okay, special mention, Jonathan Majors का acting was amazing. क्योंकि the moment
एकदम मस्त था.
मस्त exactly उसके ऊपर कैमरा आने के बाद
एपिसोड का 10-15 मिनट तो वो टेबल पे सोया लेकिन.
it is exactly how a person would react, like being in a like a dark castle for eons, staying inside,
and
like the insane character.
not only that, the moment the camera pans to this guy, okay, and he owns, like मैं भूल गया था कि उसके सामने टॉम हिडलस्टन और सिल्वी बैठे हैं, they have acted so much together. I had forgotten that. Moment camera goes to him, he has owned it from the beginning, from the first very second. The way he jumps on the table and he is like, you know what, we all of us are the villains here, and you have to thank me and everything, every single thing. And, you know, for a moment I was like, yaar, ye banda sahi bol raha hai, भी क्यों चुटेगी किसी. So there is very convincible acting किया था. Anyway,
another small point that I'd like to make is, thank God everyone like MCU to like they cast a black guy playing God, because it wouldn't have translated well if it was a white guy.
अरे मतलब MCU in that matter is at least better. वो WB की तरह एक white guy को के इसमें लेके
might have been just an unconscious decision, but still like I think it was the right turn of events.
Anyways, so what I'm saying is why this Jonathan Majorca is not similar to Odin का death is because when he is talking to Loki, he is like, "Dekh, मेरे को first initially start that I know everything and I have written everything. That's why you are not able to catch me." Okay. Suddenly, when he's explaining about the parallel universe and everything, and he sits, and suddenly there's a jerk, and he's like, "Okay, I lied. I don't know anything about after this point. Like 10 seconds ago, I had seen just the incident, what will happen 10 seconds ago."
Expected to him also, मतलब उसको भी ऐसा shock आया.
But he didn't know उसके बाद क्या. He was like, "This is Z is here and 10 seconds ago Z आ गया था. इसके बाद मेरे को नहीं मालूम क्या होने वाला है. तुम देख लो क्या कर."
I don't think he was shocked or like it was a thing. I think he had planned it. He just didn't know how it feels, to not know what.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
इतना like eon से वो बैठा है सब प्लान करके, and then suddenly you're feeling this.
It's an interesting point, right? A person who is sitting like eons of thing over it, suddenly he does not know where things are going to go.
Like वो test करता ना, he drops a thing and checks whether he knew, मतलब वो कुछ तो गिरा
he picks up a paperweight or something and just drops it, like gravity is in place. I don't know what he's checking, or like it's like, is everything okay?
Whether he predicted how it will fall or something, ऐसा कुछ तो सोच देख रहा हूँ.
Nice. That's a completely uncalled thing. Like I didn't expect like him to say, "We have reached the threshold." Like there is a ominous sound behind, like engine running and going, like
exactly.
Yeah, like ऐसा एक sound आ रहा था.
I think उसमें like what I believe that there is an external factor that caused the thing to branch. Like I want to believe कि it was his plan. Like उतना ही plan किया उसने, then and he just gave up. So I think it might be that he accepted that he had to die. Like he made up his mind that I'm gonna die now. So I think that's something that caused the reality, मतलब the timeline to start branching out from that moment on.
I felt it like basically we know that a comic book adaptation or comic book reference has to be changed when it comes to movie, because books are different and cinematic universes are different. Happened with Harry Potter. I found it really interesting that these guys made Jonathan Majors act as the one who remains, and him being Nathaniel Richards, who is also a variant of Kang the Conqueror. So I found it really well fitting that they had found this and a good puzzle to fit in.
I have a question. If you were in like a position to choose whether to kill He Who Remains, or like let everyone like be the same, like not let anyone have free will, or like let kill He Who Remains and like multiverse war ho sakta hai. So what would you choose? And
I mean,
why?
that is the entire question the whole series posted to everyone. But then that's a good question, because if for example we consider Loki and Sylvie had taken that, they'll go back to their respective lives and can enjoy it entirely. And then every living creature who takes a birth has a right to choose his own path. I guess that free will, if you are pitching against कि उसको मारते नहीं, I would like to see कि free will क्या करता है, and then to decide, because कभी-कभी लगता है कि maybe free will is not the right thing, but then you cannot put it at hold at every time. So I would just go with free.
He Who Remains himself said it ना कि it's not ethical, it's not moral, it's practical. So
practical, yeah.
I'm not talking like ethical, moral here, because there is no right decision. I am asking like what would you guys do?
I would have gone with free will to check कि क्या होता है, because I've never known what is offered. But then practical तभी मैं कर सकता हूँ if I know, like he who remains knows what happens. Okay, he knows entirely from his vision. That's why he chose the practical point. So he is a practical man. He's not Thanos. He's a practical man. But I don't know what happens if I get free will. Like I don't know if I get free will, I will be good, bad, if I can manage or not. So I would still want to look
That's
at
the point.
that.
You will be all of them. You will be all of them because now you can have any alternate reality. Like every possibility is there.
Okay. Now you tell me if there was free will. Still, if I have free will, I can make choices, right? And still, it will be a singular choice. It can't be multiple choices, right?
It will be a choice. That's the thing. Like if you make one choice, you will be living that sliver of reality. The point of the free will ka thing is, for example, जो Sylvie थी ना, so there are other Sylvies, let's say, who were like allowed to exist in the secret time.
Correct.
One
Correct.
single Sylvie. All the other Sylvies were, taken out to get pruned.
Okay.
So you are denying those other Sylvies free will. That's the point. It's not वो जो sacred timeline वाला Sylvie.
Okay.
So if you take the wrong decision, you would no longer exist. It won't really matter, but you are also like, limiting. If one of those people survive, जैसे Sylvie की, तो they will know the pain के साथ.
Correct. क्या होता है feel? Because even Sylvie was not the क्या बोलते हैं main timeline वाली Loki. She was also pruned because she was not.
हाँ वही. Lazar और अवेक क्या बोलते हैं?
I think I will go for this like ultimate stability. Like if universe को अगर एक option दिया है कि universe is gonna split into chaos or you can just control everything from like turning into a massacre. So I will just go for like controlled stability. But even though it's like a Nazi view or something, I don't know. But I don't at the given point of time I wouldn't know like if he is lying or not. So so probably I will stick to the main plan and just
Avik?
Okay, so मतलब putting myself in the shoes of any of the two Loki at that point of time when he just revealed everything. So that at that point there's very less information. So first of all I would like to verify कि if he is telling the truth and if there is no one to control, then do things really go as batshit crazy as he says. So if I find कि भाई ये सही बोल रहा है, सही होगा, then I will take the practical approach and morality can like take a back seat.
Morality can go fuck yourself.
ज़्यादा भी नहीं. That's but yeah, like I would choose to be more practical than being moral because obviously पूरा like a multiversal war is much more drastic than someone choosing chai over coffee.
It's not that a gambit level.
So, what I think is अब मेरे को सब दो reasons है. एक तो ये है कि जैसे थेनोस के साथ भी किया था ना, डॉक्टर स्ट्रेंज वेंट थ्रू ऑल रियलिटीज एंड सिर्फ एक में जीतता है वो लोग. So it was very difficult. Na, the chances of winning against this like big, like huge force, like coming out prevailing, it's very slim. But still, there is a chance. Same goes for the multiverse war. The chances of it getting stopped without the creation of TV or anything, like proper ऐसा stop कर रहा है because of all, let's say all the Avengers and all the heroes uniting or something like that. हाँ?
Amicable solution to the war.
हाँ. So अच्छा solution आने का chances low है, but still if you allow the chaos to happen, तभी वो chance आ सकता है. Like Doctor Strange time stone दिया, तभी वो chaos हो सकता है, so that one of those realities में वो लोग जीते. Same goes यहाँ पे भी, I guess. Like I would let the chaos unfold. दूसरा ये है कि
Daniel के life में the chaos already had happened once and वो देख के then made this.
Exactly, that's what I said.
ये solution मिला, but there should be like a better solution.
Someone might have taken it. Yeah.
If हम लोग इतने लोगों को सफर करवा रहे हैं, free will नहीं दे रहे हैं. I mean, if it is taking so much to save the entire universe, or whatever the multiverse, if it is taking so much, then it is not worth doing it at the first place. I mean, इतना बकचोदी करके अगर बचाना है, इतना चूतिए लोग कि उसके बिना हो नहीं सकता है. No one deserves to live फिर तो सब मरो.
That's actually good thing. Well,
That's a lazy person thought. Like आलसी
no, I won't say just a lazy person. And it's also a thought when you, जैसे अद्वैत ने बोला, a person who has fought entire life and then he realizes that उस fight का कोई मतलब था ही नहीं और हम बस एक को जिंदा रख रहे हैं because we feel कि यही चलना चाहिए. Point नहीं लगता ना, because like even if you think from his perspective, अब इसका आंसर नहीं मिला. Why did he choose just this timeline as the main timeline? Why not other timeline? कुछ तो रीजन होगा, मे बी वो. उसने इतना तकलीफ लिया इसको बचाने के, क्या था अल्टीमेट पर्पस, क्या था? ऐसा भी नहीं कि लोग फ्लरिश कर रहे हैं इसमें भी ऐसा चीजें थी कि जहाँ लोग मर रहे. तो कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है when you know lazy person thought yes also that if it's not worth it then why to have it.
I had another question when he's giving explanation. तो उसमें ही says कि he मतलब वो 31st century में he was a variant who found out there are other universes stacked on top of each other. So what does he mean by that? Like जो वो दिखाया ना, एक universe उसके ऊपर एक उसके ऊपर एक. So what does that mean? Like is he talking about like parallel universes?
It would mean
alternate realities.
I think it could mean both. No? Parallel भी हो सकता है. I think branches भी हो सकता है.
Like the show doesn't really explain like how and
A lot
how
of
these
things,
things works.
exactly.
The mechanics of this show, like the thing that works, like the timeline.
Because the things he says, like he's already saying, मतलब he has used the word multiverse many times. Like multiverse और हो चुका है. Then he also there are these universes in which there is the variant of him. Okay.
Correct.
Now he's saying the variants of him already exist, but in this timeline he is the only one. So where are the rest of them? Does the multiverse already exist and उसमें ये अलग अलग variants हैं and he is just like he said ना कि I just isolated this timeline. अभी जैसे इसमें end में क्या दिखाया, the alternate reality is branching out and everybody is saying the multiverse is here. My question is कि did the multiverse already exist and we were just not aware of it and we had no way of seeing it or contacting it?
Yes. I think we have to wait till Spider-Man No Way Home or Eternals credit scene, something like that. We will get a much more like clearer objective of what the fuck is happening in MCU. Like by the time Spider-Man comes out, we will know what happened or like what is going to happen. Like the introduction of J.J. Jameson in Far From Home and like all those things like the multiverse theory and everything. So this is just a sneak peek or what do you say, a bit of a teaser for what's coming in future. It's not just properly presented till now. I think we audience are kept in suspense, or like most people don't care like us, like what's going on, like multiverse thing, like this MCU thing. So we have to make like we wait for to get a more clearer objective on what heck is happening inside this MCU.
अरे यार, if they wanted to make a sneak peek, they could have given us a better sneak peek. This felt like बंदा झुका तो उसका पीछे से गांड देख लिया अपन. वो चड्डी के.
तू बंदे का क्यों देख रहा है? बंदे का क्यों देख रहा है?
ऐसा sneak peek दिया यार.
Which Loki are you watching, man? तू कौन सा साइड पे देख रहा है?
Yes, I think you downloaded the wrong Loki.
He's watching a variant of the show. When the reality start branching out ना, the timeline he who remains control, वो timeline branch होके somehow it connects to other universes.
Other universes.
Parallel universe तो कभी connect नहीं होएगा because of alternate realities.
नहीं, see वो तो मतलब अभी वो क्या है वो अपने को नहीं पता, but what he said was कि the मतलब वो branches, इतने सारे branches हुए, they got entangled somewhere and that led to like Loki being pushed into some other reality, मतलब और किसी दूसरे alternate reality में. और also हमको दिखाते हैं कि in the starting of the show we hear dialogue from different Marvel characters ना, वो जब वो zoom out करते हैं अपने galaxy से, अपने universe से,
black hole to other black hole.
हाँ, एक black hole दूसरा black hole. So वही मेरा मैं just ये सोच रहा हूँ कि the multiverse already exists, we just had no way of traversing through it. अभी because of this branching and shit happened, अभी multiverse open हो गया है and now we can like एक station से दूसरे station we can go and फिर उसमें we can now see the madness that is going to happen.
Yeah.
मेरे को अपना दिमाग थोड़ा शट डाउन करके देखना पड़ेगा बिकॉज मैं थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ही साइंटिफिकली ऐसा देखा इसलिए इट्स लाइक हैपनिंग
Just like a average enjoyer जैसा देख ले, मतलब just like
noob जैसा
वही
वो सर पे एक मार देता हूँ, थोड़ा कंकशन हो जाएगा, उसके बाद देखता हूँ.
ब्रेन को 480p में डाल के देख. Also, apart from these fan theories and everything, there are few things like which I observed other than your YouTube breakdowns. Like the moment the two Lokis enter the citadel, there is this hooded figure standing in left and right, the statue. So if you look closely, that figure first of all looks like a female figure, like a feminine attribute to it, and the face is a clock face. There's a clock on the face. So I think that is actually Miss Minutes, like the Miss Minutes.
Firstly, who is this Miss Minutes? Is it a person or is it an AI? What is it?
That's it. Like
मैं बताता हूँ, Miss Minute लोडी है.
भाई वो जब आई ऐसे hey y'all, that was a like गोटा मुंह में आ गया था एक सेकंड.
Whenever she comes on screen, she speaks. I don't know, something crawls under my skin like.
Something creepy about her.
That Tallahassee accent gets to you.
The accent also.
I don't know. It's unsettling. Like to have a cartoon-like character in like the real SIs way.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I think. No, like she might be like a very horrible to like in her appearance. So Kang just made her into a AI something. Like that's the thing I really like. That the hooded figure is actually the Miss Minutes, but instead of like revealing us as like that, just he made it like to an AI like more pleasing way to control the TVA authorities.
Like Jarvis ऐसा बना दिया उसको.
Yes, exactly. The cosmic Jarvis of. So other than that, like what? Like I was rewatching and like the Kang appears in this elevator, and both Lokis enter it, and they're standing behind him. And I didn't notice it first, but while he's standing in front, Sylvie is looking at Loki and saying, "Abhi Jana, like go, stab him right now." And he's like, "No, wait, like everything is just eye actions and mouth movements." Okay, मतलब बोलते हैं, अरे अभी मत कर, थोड़ा रुक, थोड़ा वेट कर, अभी इसको पेलेंगे, रुक, ऐसा मतलब he is convincing Sylvie and she is like, okay, he's not gonna listen, and she just attacks. I mean, I think from that moment itself she figured out that Loki is not going to be on her side from that point to the rest of whatever's gonna come. Like that's the reason why she just acted out like all berserk at the end. Like she knew it.
Those last few months, थोड़ा I felt pissed off at her. Like 2 मिनट रुक के सुन लेती तो क्या जाता था. 30 साल इंतजार किया, 2 मिनट में और क्या चला गया.
Because we have a long association with Loki and we saw him change so much. यार सुन ले इसकी बात please. Please सुन ले please.
अरे टेंशन मत लो. Since the reality started branching, there is actually a universe where she did listen and nothing has gone wrong.
No. The branching happened after all that. Also,
branching हुआ तो भी like there is gonna be a reality where nothing is wrong, where there are no branches happening also. Like ऐसा भी reality रहेगा.
सोच रहा हूँ अगर कोई बंदा आज शुरू करता है कि मेरे को देखने का है ये क्या है, he has to go back to 2008, watch everything from the beginning and come to this point.
I feel very bad for that person. Like the people who are right now, like
I feel bad for ourselves also. Like मैं आदित्य को बोला जब अपन 50 साल 60 के हो जाएंगे ना, तब गुड होगा.
Yes.
Exactly.
अपना बच्चा लोग भी सेम मूवी देख रहा होगा, अपन लोग भी सेम मूवी देख रहा होगा.
बट अपन अपने बच्चे लोग को अपने को बैठ के देखना पड़ेगा कि देख ब्रो नूब, you have to start from that point. You cannot just
बच्चे हुए तो.
That's a different question.
2008 में कितना साल का होगा ये 12-13 साल का. अभी अपन लोग 24-25 का हो गया है. अभी इनका नेक्स्ट फेज स्टार्ट हुआ है. ये खत्म होता है अपन 35-40 तक
मर जाएगा. उसके बाद फेज 4 फेज 5 सब आता है.
फेज 4 तो चल रहा है. फेज 5 6 7 8 जाएगा.
Sorry.
We started it as our teenage. We will end it as our like on our deathbed. We will end this Marvel.
वही क्योंकि इसके बाद सोचना X-Men को भी आने का है. ये सबको आएगा. सब लोग Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they won't even rush it. Being Marvel, I think though they won't just rush it instantly. They will just milk whatever they have right now, and धीरे they will start introducing one by one. like by phase 6 or something, like by like the end of this thing, like the Fantastic Four or something, there's coming like phase 4 end movie. By the time we will get like starting one by one X-Men character. Also we got this X-Men character in Black Widow, Ursa Major.
मैं बोल रहा था कि मार्वल एक इंटरेस्टिंग कल्चर स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. अपन सबका सब टीनेज था ना जब अपन देखना स्टार्ट किया. यूजुअली ये जो सुपर हीरो मूवीज सब रहता है, दोस मूवीज पीपल टेंड नॉट टू वॉच आफ्टर लाइक दे आर यू नो in their mid 20s or something.
Yes,
exactly.
थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, but we are still like you know continue to watch.
yes.
So basically जो audience MCU के पास अभी है, that is gonna be the same like आगे भी like वो
आगे भी. That's what I was saying. Like for example,
younger generation कैसा है? Younger generation will have to watch all the MCU movies to understand.
Exactly. Even if you say Harry Potter, तुम लोग बुक्स पढ़े, मैंने सिर्फ मूवी देखा, ठीक है? तो बेसिकली 2001 में फर्स्ट बुक निकला था, तब बच्चों के लिए था. As it progressed, it grew and उसने J.K. Rowling had thing in mind कि मेरे ऑडियंस भी बड़े हो रहे हैं, I can introduce death, I can introduce the you know love chemistry, everything.
Things and
exactly, and but that ended in the 70s. Okay, it ended somewhere. So you know कि there was 7 movies या 7 books पढ़ना है to understand the whole thing. Right now this thing is
like
going ahead.
अपने पापा लोग के टाइम पे जब स्टार वार्स का जो फ्रेंचाइज था, मतलब इट वाज द सेम हाइप एज दिस. So by the time we grow up, I couldn't relate much, but just recently I started watching Star Wars stuff and like, oh my god, this is epic. I should have been there like 20-30 years before. But you know,
I mean the newer movies are cool, but there is very small group of people who have watched like the purana Star movies अभी के generation का, and without you know peer pressure, क्योंकि कुछ लोग ही रहेगा जो लोग interested रहेगा. Okay, like how were the movies in the 70s? There was this ऐसा बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग ऐसा नया जैसे अभी के टाइम पे अवतार था ना 3D मूवीज में इतना बड़ा, वैसा उस टाइम पे स्टार वॉर्स वाज अ बिग थिंग. सो सम पीपल हु आर इंटरेस्टेड इन वाचिंग ऐसा पुराना मूवीज वो लोग देखेगा. तो ऑडियंस का जो ग्रुप है वो छोटा होता जाएगा एमसीयू के लिए प्रोबब्ली.
I know because मैंडलोरियन तुम लोगों ने देखा है, राइट? में से किसी ने, मैंने नहीं देखा, मैं देख भी नहीं सकता क्योंकि मेरे को कुछ मालूम भी नहीं मैंडलोरियन क्या देखना है. और यू नो स्टार वॉर्स का पॉइंट ये है कि तेरे को वॉच अगर शुरू करना है, तेरे को पहले चैप्टर 4, 5, 6 देखना है, फिर 1, 2, 3 देखना है, और उसके बाद 7, 8, 9 देखना है. दैट्स हाउ इट इज, एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाई इट इज लाइक दैट. बेसिकली चैप्टर 1 में तुमको पहले पता चल जाएगा कि उसका फादर हुआ है, ये मेरे को मालूम है कहीं स्पॉइलर से.
अरे वो सस्पेंस के लिए था, मतलब कैसा होगा.
हाँ, बट देन एज यू सेड व्हिच इज वेरी ट्रू, उसका जो द ऑडियंस इट स्टार्टेड एट 2008 और एटलीस्ट जॉइंड बिफोर द इन्फिनिटी वॉर वाला स्टफ इज द सेम ऑडियंस व्हिच इज गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू टिल द एंड. बिकॉज इतना सब, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल न्यूबॉर्न हु यू नो टेक्स अ न्यूबॉर्न हु विल स्टार्ट वाचिंग आफ्टर 5-6 years, if he wants to watch something कि अच्छा ये अब क्या थंडरबोल्ट या कोई एवेंजर, you would understand कि ये लोग कहाँ से आए हैं. So you know somewhere down the line MCU has to end this connectivity, interconnectivity, so that people can then watch together, because if it's going to just branch out, I don't know how the new generation is going to cope up.
थोड़ा बोलने का था.
हाँ बोल.
Like क्वेश्चन था ये. अरे like ये जो मिस मिनट्स है वो रेंसलेयर को कुछ डेटा डॉक्यूमेंट देती है ना. He felt that it would be useful. So even if he died, I think he set something in motion.
Yeah. I think he knew. That's what I'm saying. He knew what's gonna happen, and he already set things in motion, like sending her to season 2.
like वो विजन भी उड़ के चला गया, ये रेंसलेयर भी वो टाइम उससे चली गई कहीं और, पता नहीं क्या. What's Marvel doing?
There's a creepy
but it could also be like Miss Minutes is like betraying He Who Remains also, because उसको भी पता है He Who Remains को पास इस पॉइंट के बाद कुछ पावर नहीं है. मे बी ऐसा भी कुछ हो सकता है.
There's a lot of things which you don't know. Like there's also Mobius saying, "Now we know your secret." Like what secret? Like we're not even told what secret is. Like we're just assuming it. The secret is like she works in a high school, but I don't think it's just that. Something.
The way he said it, it felt like something, you know, nefarious.
Yeah.
Which something bad it felt. It can't be just she's also a variant working in a school.
Yes.
He might have done something कुछ तो ऐसा.
Now we know your secret. Like मेरे को पता है तू रात को कैंग के घर पे जाती है, ऐसा मतलब kind of thing.
But they made it clear that she doesn't know who the mastermind is. मतलब she's also in the dark.
Yes,
so
lot of things are in the dark. We don't know how the multiverse works. We don't know what her motive is, who Miss Minutes is, what her real appearance is, like who the fuck Mobius is, what happened to TV. Lot of questions, lot of unanswered questions. and by the time the end of this year or the multiverse of madness, we will get the perfect answer, like what the heck went wrong, how we can get it right, the introduction of new characters, things like that.
So wrapping up, these were our thoughts on the whole series of Loki and future of MCU. Aage, in next episode, we'll be talking about Black Widow. So please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in next episode.
Bye, guys.